What's up, Unlocking Your Inner Strength listeners? How would you like to know how to live off the grid, which will open up pockets of your time that you could be using for useful stuff? Well, I got good news for you. I've put together a special report showing you how to do this. It's normally $45, but since you're a loyal listener of the show, you can get it for only $10 at unlockingyourinnerstrength.com/time.
You're listening to The Inner Strength Show. If you want to step into your greatness, you've come to the right place. Here is your host, the human strength expert, Kyle Newell.
What's up, everybody? It's Kyle from Unlocking Your Inner Strength and of Newell Strength, located in Hillsborough, New Jersey, soon to be Flemington as well. So we're excited about that. Here with episode number 68 today. And going to go back to the roots of fitness. A lot of people know me as a fitness expert, although I have many other interests now, but fitness was kind of my foundation. And a good friend who I'm helping right now, he has a huge business, success in all areas of his life, but he continues to go up and down on the roller coaster of fitness. And I'm sure you can relate to this. Most people, when they set a goal, when it comes to fitness, a lot of times it's a hard number goal. And what I mean by that is I want to lose this much weight. I want to be at this % body fat. I want to bench press this much. And those are kind of meaningless. What is it behind why you want to lose the weight? So my buddy tells me that when he eats, he feels guilt. Well, that's the first thing you got to figure out. Where's the guilt coming from? Who's putting that on you and why? And I guarantee it's not somebody else. It's probably yourself. So what I found over the past, how long have I been helping people? 19 years, 20 years, is that setting these hardline goals when it comes to fitness, they don't work. So even if somebody loses the weight, loses the body fat, they're there temporarily and then they revert back if they have not connected to the deeper reason why. Now, what we really need to do, and I've talked about this before, is have systems, daily systems and weekly systems that are going to move us forward. So we need to bring focus to the process of fitness. You need to bring focus to the process of fitness. Now, if it's just an arbitrary number that you want to weigh, and I'm going to keep using weight because most people can relate to that, it's not necessarily a system. You might say, okay, I'm going to diet hard here for a week or two. I'm going to do a lot of cardio and all this junk. But in your brain is focusing on, I must weigh this much. Now, if we focus on a goal like that, we're either a failure because we haven't achieved it yet, or we achieve it and then we're left with the feeling of, now what? Now what am I supposed to do? And you kind of feel empty. Then you have to create another goal. And a lot of times these goals don't mean anything to you, or you haven't done the investigative work to figure out what they do mean to you, I should say. But a system, when it comes to a goal, is something you can do weekly or daily that you're constantly feeling success. Constantly feeling success. So with diet, you know I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting. I believe wholeheartedly in that. I believe in the principles of it. I believe in everything about it. And I started doing intermittent fasting in my last bodybuilding show prep in 2014, and I fell in love with it. For multiple reasons, but this is not an intermittent fasting episode. So look back through the archives to find that. Anyhow, it makes it so simple. Now, the issue people have is it doesn't bring as much focus to the dieting process. And that's kind of the idea of it. However, in my friend's case, I wanted him to be focused on all areas. Again, super successful guy. He just needs to take the thought out of this. So today when I write up his plan, what I brainstormed is I'm going to have him do some type of carb cycling. Now, he's been in these programs where he diets at like 500 calories a day. So I know physiologically things are messed up. And I know that, help him with thyroid output and whatnot, the carbs, cycling them is going to help. But I'm doing it more so he's got to bring focus to each day. Monday, okay, it might be a low carb day. Tuesday might be low. Wednesday might be medium. And I'm going to make it so he doesn't have to weigh and measure all his food. You can do it very simply, but it's, again, bringing focus to that process. Okay, bringing focus to that process. Next thing is, what are you training for? if you're training to weigh a certain amount, again, you're not going to find it very enjoyable. It's going to become more of a chore. Now, when I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it changed all of my training and the way I think about my training, which was exciting to me. It changed my nutrition because now I'm looking at, okay, how do I recover? How do I make sure I get the calories in to keep my weight where I want it to be? I'm not trying to lose weight. So all these things, and it just reinvigorated me. So now I have something I'm training for because I want to do a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition next summer for beginners. So each training session is moving forward, rather than just going through the motions. Now, you know me, I believe exercise is first and foremost for the brain, and then the heart, and then the muscular system. So any movement is great for the brain. But this has kind of been a novelty for my brain. So I guess that's where I'm going with that is novelty is the greatest aphrodisiac for your brain. So if you've been doing the same training and fitness routine for months on end, for years on end, unless you're a rare individual, you need to change it up to stay mentally engaged. I change my training before this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every couple months once I get bored of what I'm doing. I keep the principles the same. That's the thing. I keep my training principles the same, but I throw in enough spice for my brain to light up and to create new neural connections and to be excited again about the training. What's up, Unlocking Your Inner Strength listeners? How would you like to know how to live off the grid, which will open up pockets of your time that you could be using for useful stuff? Well, I got good news for you. I've put together a special report showing you how to do this. It's normally $45, but since you're a loyal listener of the show, you can get it for only $10 at unlockingyourinnerstrength.com/time. Back to my friend. One of the things he's going to be doing is he's going to be trying some of the classes we have. So that's different for him. He's going to try small group training, which is different than what he's been doing. He's going to come to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with me twice a week. He's already a black belt in Aikido, but now he's going to be doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So again, it's just bringing focus to the process of fitness. And what you're really trying to get to is habit and routine. Habit and routine, where then you have more flexibility. But he approached me and said, I need somebody to take this off of my plate, to take this thought. I got so much other stuff I'm focusing on. And remember, that's key right there too. And he says he's got so much other stuff to focus on. Your brain is very limited in its willpower resource. It's a finite energy supply. It's located in the prefrontal cortex in front of your brain. Literally runs off glucose. Once that part of your brain is burnt up, so to speak, once all that glucose is gone, then you're done with willpower. So if he has a busy day and he's running a big corporation and leading all types of people and building houses and this and that, by the end of the day, his willpower's gone. So for him to try to stick with a diet that's not external, something he hasn't internalized, and miss out on the joys of life, like if he wants to have a beer with his wife, it's simply not going to work. And that goes back to the guilt factor. But anyhow, I'm talking about willpower here. Habits and routine get us away from willpower. It takes thought out of it, doesn't need conscious attention. Now, I know from this particular friend that around the day 15 to 18 mark is when he usually falls off the wagon, so to speak. Falls off the wagon, and he'll revert to old habits. So we have to get him through that point. Okay, so a little less than 3 weeks. Got to get him through that point safely, and then maybe we ease up. I'm not sure. Now, you've heard this saying that it takes 21 days to form a habit. That's on the very low end. The average is it actually takes 66 days to form a habit. That's the average. So don't fall for this. Oh, 21 days. Yes, in some cases that's true, but it's going to take a little more than 2 months, around 2 months of really focused effort to create a new habit before it's something you don't have to think about. Just another thing for you to ponder. So I want to wrap this one up. You have to bring focus to the process of your fitness. If it's getting bored and you're having trouble sticking with it, you have to switch something up. Think of novelty. How can you put something in that's going to create excitement and add a new element of something new for your brain? And that's the most overlooked thing when you talk to experts, quote unquote. They can write a perfect program on paper, but if the person is not mentally engaged in it, it doesn't matter. They're not going to stick with it. So you got to add novelty. You got to have something to train for. You got to figure out why it is what you want. If it's losing weight, well, what's that going to get you? What's great about losing that weight? What's important to you about it? And then you keep digging. You do your 5, 6, 7. You keep going down that rabbit hole. Figure out why it is. It so you can be around your kids longer, so you can see your grandkids, so you can dance at your daughter's wedding? Think of that stuff. Is it so you can do the things you love to do in life? If it's just losing weight, then cut a limb off, cut your leg off, and you lose weight. Is that going to make you any happier? I know that's a ridiculous example, but it kind of shows you the ridiculous thought pattern that people have when it comes to weight. Okay? And especially if you're married. The only people that need to be attracted to you are your spouse and yourself. Don't worry about what other people think of how you look. And most people don't care how you look. That's the last thing on their mind. Most people are just concerned with themselves. Have you ever gone on a vacation and remembered that vacation for how somebody else looked on the beach? Man, that dude was jacked. I remember that vacation in 2007. That dude was just shredded. No, you don't care. You're there to have a good time and create memories with those that you love. Same thing in everyday life. Nobody's worried about what you look like or what you're doing. Figure out why you want to do it. And as I said last episode, comparison is a thief of happiness. You're unique in physical being and spiritual being and your mentality and your emotional matrix. Embrace that. Embrace that. That's all I have for you this episode. Please share this with somebody that can use a short positive message on the way to work. And leave a review on iTunes if you have not done so yet. And I'll be back next week. I'll be talking more about energy and time management. Peace.
You've been listening to The Inner Strength Show. If you enjoyed the show, remember to subscribe, rate, and review us in iTunes.